Hi, my name is Eric Fasbender. I teach AP Biology, AP Environmental Science, and AP Computer Science A at Live Oak High School here in Livingston Parish. I am excited about the educational issue that I'm excited about is building classroom culture in all of our classrooms, and that's something that I'm very, very focused on, and with mine specifically in doing that here at Live Oak High School. The intro, the lesson that we're going to be doing today is an intro into AP Environmental Science, a unit that we have, which is Earth systems and resources. So this is a unit that talks about like the formation of the Earth, what different resources the Earth has, as well as like Earth's place within our solar system and how we have seasons that change and different things like that. So this is an introductory lesson. Students, this was the first lesson in the unit, and it deals with the formation of the Earth, tectonic plates, as well as how biodiversity is affected by those things. The students in the video are going to be sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and we're using the AP Environmental Science curriculum that's been set forth by College Board. The objectives for the lesson are students will learn to describe the events that lead to changes in the Earth's physical appearance and changes in biodiversity, as well as students will explain the processes that cause geological changes to occur at convergent, divergent, and transform plate boundaries. Basically, what happens during this lesson, again, like I said, this is an introductory lesson. How this lesson connects with our overall goals, there's a lot of skill building that we do on a regular basis in terms of getting students to be able to understand how to solve problems, and that goes overall to our goal of getting them to be able to earn a qualifying score on the AP exam, as well as taking these skills into college. Several of the adaptations that we have had in the classroom is that I've given verbal instructions as well as written instructions to some of the students.
Mr. Fasbender is a YouTuber now. Hey guys.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my vlog.
Like and subscribe.
That's right, like and subscribe. LATOY 2021. What do you already know about plate tectonics? So this is a little bit of a checking your prior knowledge. We've already started on this one. You've probably had this before in class, going back to your middle school, potentially physical science days. Yeah, you can put them on the floor. Just spread them out on the floor. We getting it? You got them unplugged?
Got it.
They are stapled, so there will be a little bit of technical.
First civilization would be before we report, but after first home. I'm just trying to put these in like somewhat of an order.
You guys can work. You can work from either direction. So if you want to reverse engineer like what Emily's doing, that's perfect. Or if you want to work from the front.
Also, kind of the same.
Yep, that's perfect.
Are birds mammals?
So the Big Bang, first atoms, formation of the first stars. I love it. Formation of the sun. Okay.
This is not.
That's not. Okay, I was gonna say, all right, yep, that works. No, you got it. So Big Bang, formation of the first atoms, first galaxies, formation of the sun. So your first 5 are correct. Your first 5 are correct. Keep working. So you guys are working, this is your end? Okay, so you can work from both ends if you want. So if you want to reverse engineer. So these last 2 are definitely correct. The last 2 are correct. All right, we got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left.
Come before like land reptiles. I mean land animals, right?
Yeah, favorite reptiles.
Land reptiles.
No, I meant to say just like land animals.
Life on land is general. It doesn't necessarily have to be animals.
I know. I mean like
Like
does,
a fish.
I know, but I'm saying life on land doesn't necessarily have to be animals. It could be plants, it could be bacteria, it could be anything like that.
So that's.
So then would this become before the plants?
I don't know, you tell me.
So it's gonna be a right?
You're good. You're good up to first eukaryotic organisms.
So then
Everything after that is wrong.
So you would have, like, would you be able to have plants without life on land?
No, but isn't that life or is that
It is, but where is the life occurring?
life on civilization?
Where's the first life occurring? Is it on land?
they're just
Is it in the water?
It's in the water. Is correct. It's in the water.
so then we would
Fish
have
would be up here then.
Not necessarily.
Change, and so you end up building to a point where we're at. And we're going to get into, we kind of talked about like that with biodiversity, like why is it that we go from like literally single-celled organisms, and that takes 2.5 billion years, to all of a sudden we go from that to us, multicellular organisms that have our thinking capacity in really 350 million years, and it's because of sexual reproduction. We're able to like start mixing traits, and so evolution starts taking off really, really fast. So.
Okay, and I also there talked about like there were famines because like the Earth's like overall temperature changed like even the slightest bit. So when the temperature changed, like the Earth cooled, was it like a super drastic like temperature move, or was it like
Yes.
just a little? Cause,
No,
like, I know
it-
just a little.
At this point, if we're talking about like climate change that we've talked about, all it takes is just a few degrees to make a very, very huge impact. With this is a drastic change. You're going from several hundred degrees to, you know, where we're at, or close to where we're at right now. I mean, that's where we're at with it. All right, very, very good questions. I appreciate y'all. Earth system. So spheres of function. There's a couple of different spheres that we're going to be talking about. The first one is the geosphere. So it's basically like, what is the Earth? This is like what we're standing on. Okay, the hard ground. So the first thing, huh?
Thought you're jumping for joy.
No, you know, yeah, the Earth. I love it so much. No, but the thing that we're standing on is called the crust. Hopefully you guys can remember some of this. This is kind of basic, so we're going to go through this fairly quickly. But the crust is that top layer. It's the thing that's really cool. It's this outer skin. So the analogy that I always kind of make to make this hammer home is like, picture your skin on your body. It's the outer shell. So picture that it was able to float around on you and it kind of moved around in different places. I mean, it kind of can.
I don't like that.
You don't like that analogy? There's the mantle, which is just below that, which is where we have very hot and mostly solid. That's where all of our magma for our volcanoes come from. And then the very, very center is the core. It's magnetic, or not magnetic, but it's metal. It's this solid metal core. Okay. The biosphere, what does bio mean? So what do we think the biosphere is? Yeah, where life on Earth is found. It's where all the living things are and where they interact. Okay, so this is going to be where on Earth? Surface. It could be in it. Very, very good. It could be in the ground. We got all sorts of insects and worms as well as bacteria. We've got living on the ground, and then what else would this also be? The atmosphere is correct, and those very, very lower levels of the atmosphere. We also have the hydrosphere, which is going to be where all of the water on Earth resides. So we're gonna get into this topic, which is like, we're gonna talk about the different cycles, biogeochemical cycles. Where do we find water? There's basically 4 places. It's found in the ground, on the surface, in the air, and in plants. Is the format. Lily.
So would the biosphere and the hydrosphere like be the same thing? Because there's fish in the water, so wouldn't the hydrosphere be part of the biosphere?
What do y'all think?
Yeah.
You think there would be some overlap, or would they be 2 distinctly different things?
Overlap.
Well, let me ask you another question. Is the hydrosphere part of the biosphere, and vice versa, or is is the hydrosphere part of the biosphere, and that's it?
But the hydrosphere is also part of the atmosphere, but the biosphere is also included in the atmosphere.
Right.
And it's just, I can't.
It's just kind of one of those things. It's like a chicken and
Not
an
all
egg.
water has life though.
Not all water has life in it because it's an abiotic factor.
Right.
Okay. That's a good question.
Well, what's the answer?
So yeah, I would say that they are connected. They are a part of each other. Okay. Very good. So that's what I want y'all to do. So go ahead and get on there. The cool thing about the Earth Viewer, play around with it for a little bit. It actually, if you move it, it's got a geological time scale that's on the left-hand side, and you can move it and you can actually see. So go back in time and move forward, which is towards the top, and you'll actually see what direction that the plates are moving, and you can start to do that on your worksheet. So you can actually start.
Isn't that convergent?
Mine's not fancy sounding one.
No, I started at the top and I went down. What arrow? Like go, like keep it on.
He said that the,
And then does the camera explosion happen over yeah, you can like replay it so you can watch it.
Obviously, because that's not what it looks like.
I thought he said that it.
Because watch, go over to the top, and a little, it's crazy.
I have 4 points.
So they're going apart.
He does not hear at all.
So that was a great lesson. I felt like the class participation was really, really good. I had a lot of really higher order questions that were asked by a lot of different people. I feel like both of the objectives that we had were met, and was able to assess that in a couple of different ways. One, by directly questioning several of the students that are in the classroom and being able to listen to the conversations that they were having. They were getting the information that they needed to be able to understand that changes in the environment affect the biodiversity. And then later on in the lesson with the computer simulation, they were really able to understand that as the plates move and as the continents move, that is affecting what type of plate boundary that they're going to be able to have. And they had a worksheet that they were able to fill out with that. If there's anything that I would do differently next time, this is the second time that I've actually gone through this lesson, and I've adapted it from the last year that we did it to this year. Some of the changes may be just improving transition times, especially with the computers. This was earlier in the school year, and so a lot of my students didn't necessarily have the transitions down and what was expected. It was kind of a long line to be able to get to the computers, and then again at the end of class, a long line to be able to get the computers back. So that would be something that I would address next year, to be able to maybe have them come up in different groups rather than all at once. And then basically the teaching video was pretty much start to end. We did start in the beginning with objectives and bell ringers, and my students know that they're able to copy all those down and be able to answer, because they can be called on at any given time during the objectives and during the bell ringer. And then at the end, we kind of had a little wrap-up session. They handed in their worksheet to be able to show that they understood everything. And then lastly, if there's anything that I want to add, I'm excited about the opportunity to be able to be considered for the Louisiana State Teacher of the Year. This is something that, as I mentioned in some of my essays, I don't take lightly. I do have national speaking experience prior to it, and I'm very, very excited about the opportunity to be given the platform to be able to affect teachers and affecting students across the entire state of Louisiana. That's something that I'm very, very excited about. I feel very, very confident in speaking publicly and teaching, talking with teachers. In fact, I've done that with the Louisiana Resource Center for Educators, is train teachers on how to do things. Classroom culture, build classroom culture, I've done that a lot. So I'm very, very excited about the opportunity. Thank you again for the consideration, and have a great day.